Okay, so we're gonna start with the main riff, which is the same thing we're gonna do during the verses. It's the same thing. We're gonna do. That's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna go 10 of the E string, 12 of the A string, 10 on the D string, and 11 on the G string. We're gonna strike it twice. Okay? And then we're gonna go to 8 on the E string, 10 on the A string, 8 on the D string, and 9 on the G string. We're gonna strike it just once, and then we're gonna go back to the original position, 10, 12, 10, and 11. And the movement is... Then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the A string, and we're gonna do 12, 11, and 10. And then we're gonna go 10 on the E string, and we're gonna go to the 8 on the A string, and we're gonna do a tiny vibration, and we're gonna end on the 10th on the E string. Now then there's a variation of the same thing. It's gonna start in the same manner. We're gonna do the same, and then but the difference is that we're going to go to 12 on the D string and 12 on the G string. We're going to strike both at the same time, and then we're going to go to 10 on the G string. We're going to do a vibrate, and then 12. We're going to end it on the 12th of the D string. Alright, then we're going to change, and we're going to do... Now what we're going to do here, we're going to go to 10 on the A string, and then 12 on the D, 12 on the G, and 12 on the B string. We're going to strike it twice, and then we're going to go to 8, 10, 10, and 10. We're going to strike once, and we're going to go back to 10, 12, and 12. It's the same thing we do here, but in a different shape. Okay, and then 12 on the D string, 11 and 10, everything on the D string. And it's the same thing we did before, but now we're gonna do it on the A string and on the D string. It's 10, 8 vibration, and then we finish it on the 10 of the A string. And then we're gonna go back to the same thing we did before. And now there's a change. We're gonna do that. So we're gonna go to 10 on the E string, and then we're gonna go to the B and the G string. We're gonna strike it once, and we're gonna do a bend, and we're gonna finish it on the 12th of the D string. Okay, so let me show you everything put together, and then we're gonna go with the chorus. Now with the chorus, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go to 5. It's the same shape we're doing here, but starting from 5. It's 5 on the E string, 7 on the A, 5 on the D, and 6 on the G string. We're gonna strike 3 times. Okay? That's the movement. It's from an upstroke, a downstroke, an upstroke. Okay? Then we're gonna go to a C power chord. It's a 3rd fret of the A string, and then 5 on the D, 5 on the G, and 5 on the V. We're gonna strike it just once, and then we're gonna go to the same shape we're doing here, but starting from the 3rd fret of the E string. It's a 3rd, 5, 3rd on the D string, and 4th on the G string. And we're gonna strike just one time. Okay, let's go one more time. And then we repeat the same movements. Again. And to end that section, we're going to go to the first chord, and we're going to strike it many times. And then we'd go back to the same riff we've seen before. All right. So with the solo, the first thing we're gonna do the following. We're gonna do that. It's Blue Moon. It's a Blue Moon section. It's really cool that he put that part on at the start of the solo. So we're gonna go to 11 on the G string. Everything from now it's on the G string. We're gonna go 11, and we're gonna do 2 bands. Okay, like going from 11 to 14. Okay. Then we can go 11. Say we do both bands. We do a release. There is no release actually. We don't make the release. We just go back to the 11 position. We're gonna strike once, and then we're gonna do a prevent on the 11 to the 14, and then we strike on the 12 of the B string. That's the movement. And then we're gonna do that 11 again. We're gonna do a band, and then strike the 11 again while we're doing the band. Okay. And then we're gonna go 11 again without band, and we're gonna do a prevent. So we don't listen when we are doing the band. We just prevent it, and then 11 again. Let me show you slower one more time. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do that. So 9 on the G string, we do a bend, a release, and a pull off back to 7. Then we go 9 again, and we do a pull off to 7, and then we go to 9 on the G string and 9 on the B string, and we strike both at the same time, and we do a bend, and then we finish it on the 7th of the G string. Let me show you slow tempo. Let's go one more time. Okay, so the next movement, we're gonna do that. It's gonna go 7 on the D string, hammer on to 9, then 7 on the G string. And now what we are gonna do, we're gonna do 4 bands. Okay, we're gonna go to 9 on the G string, 9 on the B string. We're gonna do a bend, a release, a bend again, a release, a bend again, a release, and the last time, the 4th time we do the bend is gonna last longer. Let me show you on the real tempo so it can make sense. That's the movement. And to finish, we're gonna do that. 7 on the G string, hammer on to 9 on the G string, and pull off back to 7. Okay, so the next section. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to 10 on the G string, and we're gonna do a bend like going to 12. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna do 2 bends. We're gonna bend it twice, but like going from 10 to 13. So it's first to 12, and then bend to 13, and bend to 13. Okay? That's the movement. And now what we're gonna do, it's a bend from 10, like going to 12, And now we're gonna last a bend we're gonna do a bend for the last time, but we're gonna do in kind of slow tempo. It's gonna last longer. That way. So let me show you slow tempo. That's moving. Now the next movement. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go to 9 on the G string. We're gonna do a bend like going to 11. Now we're gonna go to 7 on the G string. We're gonna go back to 9. We're gonna do a bend, and we're gonna go 9 on the D string and 7 on the G string. And to finish that section, we're gonna do a bend on the 9 position of the G string, like going to the 11. Let me play it one more time. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. One more time. Okay. Now the next section. We're gonna do that. So it's D string. We're gonna go 7, hammer on to 9. Then we're gonna go 7 on the G string and 9 on the G string. And now what we're gonna do a bend on the 9 fret of the G string. We're gonna do the bend. We're gonna do a release and a pull off to 7. Then 9 on the D string, back to 7 on the G string, 9 again on the G string. And now what we're gonna do is 9 and bend to 11, and then we're gonna do 2 more bends from 9 to 12. Let me show you in slow tempo. One more time. And to finish, we're gonna do that. It's 7, 9, 7 on the G string, 9 on the G string, 9 on the D string, and then 7, hammer on to 9 on the G string, and we finish on the 7 of the G string. Okay, so let me play these the first section, everything we've done so far, and then we move to the next part. Okay, so the next section. We're gonna do that. So it's after the what we have been doing before. We did before that movement. We're gonna go slide to the 14 of the G string. Then 13 of the B string, then again 14 of the G string, and we slide back to 12. And then 10 on the G string, 11 on the G string. Okay? And then we can do that. 10 on the G string, 12 of the D string, 10 on the D string, and then 12 again, everything on the D string. And to finish, we're gonna do 10 of the G string and hammer on to 11, okay? The next movement, we're gonna do that. It's 10 of the E string. Now, I would recommend to do a bar right here, because after playing 10 of the E string, we're gonna need to strike the 10th of the G string. So if you do a bar, we don't have to do anything with this hand. So it's 10 and then 10 on the G string, hammer on to 11, 12 of the D string, and then 10 of the G string. One more time. That's the movement. So the next section is we're gonna do that. It's 12 on the G string. We're gonna do a bend like going to 14, and then we're gonna need to strike on the B string on the 13. Okay. While we are doing the bend, we do 13, and then what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a new bend on the 12. We're gonna do the bend, then release, and a pull off to 10. Let me show you one more time. That's the movement. Then we do 12 on the G string, pull off to 10, and then again 12. We do a bend, like going to 14, bend. We strike 13 on the B string. And while we are doing the bend, we strike it one more time and we do the release and then a pull off to 10. Then what we're going to do is 12 on the G string, we do a bend, and then we do a bar on the B string and on the E string, and we strike 10 on the B and 10 on the E. Then we're going to go to 12, we're going to do a new bend, we're going to do a release and a pull off to 10. Then we're going to go 12 on the D string, 10 on the G string and hammer on to 11, and then 12 on the D string and 12 on the A. Let me show you everything put together so it can make sense. That's the movement. Next movement. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a double stops. We're gonna do a bar on the A string and on the D string. A bar. We strike both at the same time, and after we strike it, you have to do a hammer in this case to the 12th position on the A string. Now what we're gonna do, you can repeat the same movement twice. You can do that, or you just can strike it twice. Then we're going to do the same movement. It's 10 on the D and 10 on the G. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do that. It's 10 on the G string and then 12 on the G string and pull off to 10. Let me show you one more time. Okay, so the next section. We're gonna do that. So after the 10 and then 12 and pull off back to 10, we're gonna do 12 on the G string and slide to the 14th fret. Then 13 on the B string. Again a strike on the 14 of the G string and a strike again on the 13 of the B string. Okay. And then 15, and you can do a pull off to the 13, everything is on the B. 15, pull off to 13, or you can do 13, slide to 15 and back to 13. You can do that, or 15, pull off to 13. And then we're going to do 14, slide to 12, and then 10 on the G string, and 12, and pull off back to 10. That's the movement. Then we're going to do that. It's 12, slide to 14 on the G string, everything on the G string, 12, slide to 14, then 13 on the B string, then 14, back to 14 on the G string. and then that's the movement. 15 on the B string, we're gonna do a bend, and then 13 and 15 on the B string. Okay? And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to 13 on the E string, we're gonna do a small bend, and then 15 on the B string, 13 on the B string, and then 14 on the G string, and we slide to 12. 14, slide to 12, and then 10 on the G string, we do a small bend, and then 12 on the D, 12 on the G string, and then 10 on the G string. I'm gonna show you in slow tempo. One more time. And the last section, what we're gonna do is that's what we're gonna do. Is 12, slide to 14 on the G string, 13 on the B string, 14 on the G string, 13 again on the B string, and the last time we're gonna go 14, slide to 12, 10 on the G, and then we're gonna go 12 on the D string, and we're gonna do a pull off to 10, and then 12 on the A string, and to finish the solo, we're gonna go 10 on the D string, and hammer on to 12. Let me play all the section, this last section, and then we just end the solo. And then we just keep doing the main riff we were doing before. And that's the end of it. There's no more sections. Everything we did before, the riff, we're gonna do that. We could just gonna repeat the same sections. The only difference is that the last part, there's a chorus that we're gonna do the same thing we did before. It's the same thing, but the only difference is that when we start right now, when we end that section, we're gonna stay and do. We're gonna do the same thing for a couple more bars than the original, and then we just end it with the same riff.